Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV International from the Egyptian Space Agency, and in this segment we'll be speaking about the future collaborations and the future cooperation between Egypt and different countries. More specifically, an Asian giant, China, for example, will be collaborating with Egypt and launching new satellites in the near future, like the Masrisat 1 and 2, as we did see in the past. Egypt launching several satellites ever since 1998, and to be shedding more light on the future collaborations and more in this upcoming segment of Nile Cruise. I'm honored to be having with me today Dr. Haitham Akah, the head of the Space Communication.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Dr. Haitham, it's a pleasure to have you with us, of course, in today's episode of Nile Cruise. And I'd like to know, how did the idea of the SAT first come up, and what is the importance and the uses, sir?
Actually, due to the special position of Egypt in the Middle East and Africa, different international countries and companies are looking forward to work with Egypt jointly. And in addition to the good relationship between China and Egypt, especially with His Excellency the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, we got this fund from China to work together in this joint project for technology transfer in this middle scale remote sensing satellites. The benefit of these projects is transferring the technology for designing the system level design of the satellites and building the first Egyptian satellite on an Egyptian soil. It will be in the AIT facility that we have here in the Space City. China is jointly with us, will train our engineer and conduct all the phases to build this satellite in Egypt for the first time ever.
So what is the benefit of launching this satellite into space?
This satellite is a remote sensing satellite. This is the first class of satellite we are targeting to have a technology in this area. This satellite will benefit different sectors in the community: agriculture sector, urban planning, water management, different sectors in for the community. That's why we highlight in this technology first to benefit the people of Egypt and the people of Africa, of course, in developing their agriculture needs and water needs and planning needs and different sectors. After that, we will try to work in different technologies like communication technology and navigation and so on to cover all the spectrum of the space technology later on.
So what is the cooperation launched with China in this respect, and was the completion of the project affected by the COVID-19 outbreak?
Actually, this is the first time China joined any other country in technology transfer project in space. So it was due to the high appreciation of the Egyptian government and the people of Egypt. Thus, we are honored to have them with us in this project. And of course, we had some impact due to COVID-19 issue. But the final schedule is still within the expected scope. We try to do some project management to recover and overcome such delays. We had about 6 months, less than 6 months delay on the milestones of the project. But I think the final launch is still within the same window we planned before.
So this is the first time, or one of the first times, that China has collaborated with other countries in building satellites and etc. But on the other hand, for Egypt, how many countries before that have we collaborated with?
No, we have a good relation with different countries. Actually, Russian, Ukrainian, Japanese, French, German. I don't want to drop anyone, but yes, we have an open policy with working in space with different countries. We welcome any country that would like to join with us. We are ambitious and we want to get into the space race as quick as possible. We want to overcome the past period that we lost in this era, and we are open to any country to work with us, and we have a lot of cooperation in this area.
Sir, does the Egyptian Space Agency have the the ambitious resources for the success of its strategic goals?
We have an ambitious program for strategic goals in the space area. We are building our capabilities right now. We have a lot of building is going on right now and facilities needed. We have an ambitious training program for graduate student and undergraduate to be ready for this task when we start any project. They will be ready at that time. It is a bit challenging, but I think we are doing fine, and we are prepared for what's coming in this strategic goals we are aiming for.
You've also mentioned that countries like Russia, Ukraine, the United States, Japan, China, all these countries, Germany, they have advanced the space programs and space agencies. We are kind of still starting with building our capabilities, as you've mentioned. So how far behind are we now?
Actually, yes, we can still say that we are in the beginning, yes, but we have gone a long shot right now. We are not to be taken lightly in this area right now. We have a good respect in the international community in this field of space. We are a lot of people, countries, I mean, looking forward to work with us. We are aiming not for the old technologies now. We are even looking forward for the state-of-the-art technologies that even a few countries in the world, 5, 3, or even 3 sometimes, we are aiming for top. We are working in parallel. We are working in the building the regular, let's say, technology, and at the same time we are aiming for the top state-of-the-art technology. So I think we can in no time get not in even, but close to this spacefaring countries. Let me.
Okay, sir. Does China provide us with technical support or not? And the impact of the coronavirus, of course, on training youth, like you mentioned when you were during the interview.
Okay, yeah, of course,
we
China.
understand youth, we travel and come back to get trained.
We have some drawbacks due to travel restriction and so on. But we, as I think most of the world did, we switched to virtual meetings and virtual training, and yeah, of course. So we breached the gap between the two plans, project plan. Let me say. At the same time, yes, they provide training. They provide technical discussion with our team members. We are actually not only getting training, we are getting joint development and joint design. So they review what we are providing, and we review what they're providing. So this is a better way to level up our engineers, our specialists in this area. So I think China is will open with us, looking forward to cooperate with us more, and we are hoping for the same too.
The satellite Masr Sat-2 will be launched into space in 2022, I think.
Yes, of course.
So what are the benefits that we are expecting of it, and at the same time, can we be expecting a faster pace of having more satellites being launched into space as opposed to what we had in the past, 1998 and 2000? There seems to be a gap between Nilesat and what we're having now.
Yes, of course. We expect to have a faster pace to proceed with the launches after that. And you are correct about these gaps, but I think now we have, as the president announced, the Egyptian Space Agency, it will be out of the, let me say, normal pace of the work in the bureaucracy. So we are working fast enough, I think, and in a couple of days, a couple of years, I think the pace for launching satellite will be much better, and we have enough capabilities and enough human resources and so on to launch them fast. AIT will be ready hopefully after a couple of years and so on. So we have our own, let me put it that way, own satellite factory, if we can say it like that. So this will be improve for sure the position of Egypt and the space technology in the region, of course.
Sir, tell us about artificial intelligence and the importance of artificial intelligence in this context when we are at the Egyptian Space Agency and discussing satellites?
Yes. So as I said before, we are aiming at the state-of-the-art technologies. One of them is not only AI. We are working in different areas, but as for AI, we are now aiming at using the AI in on board the satellite and in interpreting and getting the information from these satellites. So the satellite in the old days present the images. The images is analyzed by specialists in the ground and get the information. We have crops for like rice or so on, and we need to do so and so and so. Nowadays we are aiming at the satellite will get the information through AI directly to us. It will give us all the data we need, straightforward. You need to control the water in this area. You need to do that and do that. We are working in this area, and AI is involved in almost every activity in our agency now.
In your opinion, what is the importance of turning the Egyptian space program into an Egyptian space agency and an Egyptian space city, with, of course, the presence of the African space city as well here in Egypt, as someone working in the field with the political leadership backing such a project?
Yes, it was a big step. It's not easy step, and it put a huge, let me say, ambitious on Egypt and on our members, because you have to keep up now with what the world is expecting from you, because we have a space agency and not one. As you said, we have two now. So even the African is looking up for Egypt now to have to drive the space industry in Africa. It's back in the days it used to be that we are a consumer continent, let me say like that. We consume space technology from other countries, but now it's different. The African need to do or want to have their own technology, and Egypt is one of the leading space countries in the continent. So I think by having both in Egypt and the openness, we are willing to share our friends in Africa with space technology and so on. I think this will change the Africa and the space industry in Africa in the coming years.
Sir, does the Egyptian Space Agency have the ambition for resources to contribute to the Egyptian innovation strategy?
Actually, yes, we have. We are not working alone. We are working with almost all the universities in Egypt. We are relying on the university heavily to be our research and innovation arms. It is similar to what is being carried out outside Egypt on the Europe and States. They rely on the universities, because no one can have enough resources to have enough innovation in one house. So the universities are doing a great job, and we have a lot of the innovative program and training program and students graduation project and so on. This will have the enough ground that we can stand on for the pushing the innovation and the ambitions of our innovation in Egypt, not only in the space sector, but it will of course reflect on other industries and other sectors, of course.
Doctor, speaking of the university and the university students and the children of Egypt, do you think that they get more inspiration now that they see the progress here in Egypt regarding building an Egyptian space agency and an Egyptian space city?
Actually, yes, they do. We are very pleased when we see them here in the agency or in our activity. They get us the driving force that we see that we are doing something of importance to them. They are very inspired. All of them is trying to get involved in the agency somehow, working any way is possible. Some of them even volunteer to work with our, for example, Moon Valley Club and so on. We have different activity. I think it covers a lot of a different spectrum of the children and students or young people in the universities. And yes, I think this is one of the main driving force for the youth in Egypt is the space industry, of course.
Dr. Haitham, before we wrap up this interview, in January of the year 2019, China provided a $72 million grant to fund the satellite project. In addition to a $45 million grant it offered earlier in 2018 to support the construction of Egypt's satellite assembly, integration and testing AIT facilities. Why did China pay all this effort or participate in such an important project here in Egypt?
I think we have three different reasons for that. One of them is the good relationship, of course, between the two presidents, actually. The second one is two countries and two presidents. We both are in a good relationship. And the second thing, they see a good opportunity in Egypt and the technology we have, so they see us as a potential, I think, partner in the region. In addition to that, Egypt is one of the gates to Africa and they have a good role in Africa and role model in Africa. So I think due to these three reasons, they are, for the first time, as I said before, funding such a project in the space industry for outside country, or I mean another country.
Yes, Dr. Haitham Akah, the head of the Space Communication Department at the Egyptian Space Agency. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you. I'm pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haitham. It's a pleasure, of course. Dear viewers, stay with us. We'll be right back from the Egyptian Space Agency. Don't go away.